Good morning, people. It is 7:24 a.m. in the morning, duh, on the 23rd of May, 2022. And I'm going to make this video right now so I don't get mad and I don't cry. I'm also going to vape my e-cigarette and drink my fucking coffee. Because I just had my wonderful friend Rachel point out to me exactly what I've been trying not to do, and the same advice that I would always give the next person. And this is why she infuriates me, because I love her, but she gives me exactly the same advice that I would give the next person, and it fucking pisses me off because I know she's right, but I'm also human. I said to her, I'm like, you're constantly giving me this advice, and which I'm going to explain. I was like, but you don't live your own advice, which gets me cranky. So obviously I'm still waking her up. I've rung 4 times today to get to the last time. Each time she needed to snooze. That's fine, I snooze with her. I had a huge fucking to-do list on my table, starting with cleaning my outdoor fridge, because I need to move all the stuff from my indoor fridge and freezer out the back so I can turn the fridge off inside to hopefully get that fixed. That's one thing I need to do. Obviously got to call the builders. And then based on that, there'll be more phone calls to take. And I said to her, I'm like, I have to call the builders. I've got to figure out this home stuff. I said, I'm mentally preparing myself that there's a chance I could live in my car. And she's like, don't say that. And I was like, I don't want to live in my fucking car. I'm like, how? But I'm also trying to be realistic. And she's like, I was like, I know what you're going to say. I'm manifesting it. And she's like, you are manifesting it. I was like, I wrote a fucking blog on it yesterday. I cannot tell if I just bit my fucking lip, which I may have, or if a cold was coming on, which may also be the fucking case. Anyway, God, that's not good. So, I want to clarify something. I'm a really good manifester when it's just something that's I don't think about. I think it and then it disappears, and then the next thing I know, I've fucking manifested it. So let's try not to manifest any goals, alright, guys? Alright. Now, this is where I talk about the fact that higher selves and human parts, okay? My higher self has faith. I'll be fine. Regardless of whatever that situation looks like, I'll be okay, yeah? My lower self is basically just doing absolutely fucking everything to stay out of panic. And to stay out of panic, which is how I get shit done, I'm being realistic with the worst case scenario. Not trying to manifest it to me. And this is where it gets fucking confusing. And then she always gets like, oh, I don't want to talk like this. This isn't how this meant to be. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yeah. Real good if you take her own advice once in a while. Instead of always making me feel like shit. But that's not on her. That's on me. And I know that. She's like, not once have you talked about what you want in a house. And I'm like, in all fairness, you're working around the clock. I don't have time to talk to you about what I'd like in a house. So she asked me, and I was like, a bathtub would be good, like a backyard. Heating and cooling's obviously up there, like, I don't know, like, there's so many things, obviously. And she's like, have you started looking? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you'll find something. And I'm like, So her dad's moved out of her place and is now renting way somewhere up in the Wicks, right, far from here. I even asked her about his location and earlier, and she was like, it's too far for you. So she's telling me to look at share houses. And I said to her, I cannot live with strangers. I just can't be one person in a room with a bunch of strangers. I'm not mentally stable enough. I know this. And it would not be fair on the next person. Yeah, that's a fucking cold sore. So there's more stuff I need to go to the chemist about. Okay, so What she doesn't seem to remember, and what I feel like is that other people aren't remembering, there is an actual rental crisis in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. There's one across the entire fucking country, really. There are people showing up to open homes for rental inspections in the dozens. This is all just fact. Not me having an opinion, just fact. As I explained to her, if I have to pay, say, $350, $400 of rent a week, that's it. That's me gone. I will legitimately be living on bread and whatever I can get to feed boss. There'll be no heating, no cooling. I won't be able to pay for any of it. And again, I'm trying to fucking manifest this shit, trying to be realistic. I'm obviously doing what I can to stay as high vibrating as I possibly can to manifest me the best possible case scenario. I actually am doing that. This is where I say, I know it gets confusing. It's confusing to someone who even understands it. But I have to allow my human side to have that, or I won't achieve anything out of pure fucking panic. That place I was in when I filmed myself on the day that I found out is a place that I have spent most of my fucking life, guys, okay? I have spent so fucking much of my time in that space. Okay, I don't want to stay there. I don't want to be there. I cannot fucking breathe when I'm in that space, let alone anything else, right? She suggested that I go and look on flatmates.com. And that's when I said about the share house. And she said, look, there are people all over the place struggling to pay their rent. So I agree, she can see that. And she said people are renting out, like single rooms and stuff and things. And I said to her, yeah, I get it. I could live with someone, I guess, if I had enough space and a big enough house. She's like, there are new houses going up all the time. Yeah, I'm fucking aware of it. I'm about to lose my home because of it. And it's moments like this where I know why my family and friends that aren't like me and her get cranky. Because it's almost as if it's like don't think about it, it won't happen, you won't manifest it. And even I can hear how dismissive that sounds, even though she's 100% on the ball. And I also know that too. Man, I've been trying to manifest me a house, my own house, fully paid for, by winning one in lotteries that I bought tickets for years. Right about now, it would be great for my number to be rung. Be good if I manifested that. Be great. Please, I'll be able to prove to people that manifestation exists. And I know Rachel's right. And I know I can't be thinking like that. And I'm just, like I said in my post last night, I'm just focusing on being in the now, right now. It's 7:33 a.m. on the 23rd of May, 2022. I'm in my bed. Boss is at the other end. It's warm. I've turned my heat on. I've got coffee that I'm going to drink while it's hot. I know that there are people who care. And I'm fucking grateful I have a station wagon. I'm still going to come back to that because you know what? I've made peace with that. And in allowing myself to make peace with that, I can then go about the rest of my life with the higher vibration, being able to stay out of the panic, being able to focus on what actually needs to be done. There's a to-do list on my fucking kitchen table that is a page long, guys. You know, I've got my first meet and greet tomorrow with this fucking work thing that I haven't finished. Thankfully, if I get a coleslaw, oh my god, it'll be gone before I get there. Is it not tomorrow, but Queensland? I've got all the creams. I've got some in my bag. I'm going to have to go buy more. I'm going to have to get tablets. It's just all more money. And it's not like I have none. Again, not putting myself in that situation. I know I'm okay. It's just, it fucking pisses me off. And I honestly reckon this must be how my sister feels. And if it is, if you still see these, I'm sorry, because I know how it sounds. I 100,000 billion% believe that we are manifesting where we're vibrating at. Thankfully, on my end, where I'm vibrating at is usually a lot higher than where my human self is at. Because my human self is an 8-year-old child fucking terrified of everything. Yeah? I may look like a grown up. I don't ever feel like one. Okay? 6 years of saying I'm a storyteller has proven to me it works, okay? Seeing Andrew yesterday shows me divine timing is at play. Like, these things are huge to me. And I know Rachel's right. It's just, it makes me want to cry. I want to cry because I don't want this human side of me having to think of the worst case scenario, having to mentally prepare myself for homelessness. I don't want any of this. What I believe in should be causing me to not feel any of this. But I am feeling this, guys. And I have too much to do to fall apart. I've been saying it since I started this blog, before the videos, before all of it. We all have a lower and higher self. My higher self is all good, shaking her head at me like a fucking disappointed parent. And it's like, yeah, cool. I don't actually feel like I have any parents. I don't really feel like I have any support in the sense that can truly help me. I have friends that care. They can't take me in, they can't help me, they can't do any of that. This is me by myself on my own. And your thoughts cause your vibrations, or your vibrations, that's all very different. I could say, I'm manifesting me my dream home, I'm going to win it with the death lottery, and I'm going to be the next one. Yep, cool. Now, the art of manifestation and actually having it happen is to let it go. I've been obviously let that one go because I still haven't manifested it, right? Now I'm remembering this dream I had. Mr. X was in it, as was his wife. In fact, we shared him. How weird does that sound? I have this very, very distinct dream coming back to me. And she and I were, I'm not sure I'd say friends, but friendly. Maybe friends. We were both very much like, we're in love with the same person. She loves them and so do I. That's just how it is. But in the dream, it was almost like child custody. You know, we get him alternatively. And that's what it was like. And I mean, that's what it was like in real life too, except it was all bullshit lies and fucking not in an open way. Like, I even remember talking to him about this situation and what the hell was going to happen. I mean, how are we going to deal? Like, I said to him, whenever it is that you two get divorced, whenever that is, was like, do you ever think she will be able to see me as someone who just fell in love too? I've got absolutely nothing against that woman. She loves the same person I do. I can't be mad at someone for that. Really, I'm the other fucking woman, so people are mad at me, I guess, but in all fairness, I just didn't fucking know that, okay? And, like I said, it's 6 years, guys. And tomorrow, the 24th, is 8 years since I met the man of my dreams, since I met the soul, since I met the core frequency that matches mine, since it all started. Tomorrow is the 8-year anniversary. It's no wonder he's all through my dreams. If what happened with him hadn't happened, I wouldn't be caring about any of this shit, because I'd be fucking flying high on ice, let's face it. Or dead. Those are the two only options I can honestly ever think of if I hadn't gone through what I went through. Would have been the first one or the second one. So in that, I'm grateful that I'm here. I guess, like I said yesterday, I seriously came very close to feeling like I was coming off my motorbike. And in that moment, and in the moment of parking it, I just felt really grateful to be home, alive and safe. So again, just because my inner child is terrified and truly thinks that just ending everything is the ultimate answer to not have to deal with this shit anymore, I know that's not it. And I am doing whatever I can to stay in a place where I don't crash. Andrew was here, like, I was able to tell the story to Max at the coffee table. There were people around us, and I was able to say it in a way that was just a matter of fact. But by the time I saw Andrew, I was in tears. And I honestly thought I was going to break down in tears on the phone with Rachel until she realised that her clock hadn't updated and she was 20 minutes behind. But it's always the same, and it makes me feel like I imagine how my sister or the next person who doesn't understand feels, because she's constantly saying shit like this to me, and it makes me cranky, because I'm like, I fucking know all of this shit, yeah? It doesn't change the fact that I live with 8 different fucking mental illnesses. 1 is enough. 8 is a nightmare. And then pain on top of everything else. Each day that goes by, each year that goes by, as I continue to get older, my body continues to get more fucking frail, more sore, more everything. And it's just like, if I didn't live with all of these conditions, I'd be fucking flying high. I'd be at uni, I'd be working full time, I would be happily paying my own house like she does. She lives in a new house with her daughter, she pays a fucking bucket load. And she does, but she works. And I get all this. And obviously I want that. I didn't ask for this. Not as a person, not as a human. I still feel like I'm going to cry. Which sucks, because now I feel like I'm in a cold sore, and that's just the last fucking thing I need on top of everything else. And I am looking at houses. I'm not going to go to fucking inspections that are available now. I'm not leaving this property until I absolutely have to. I'm just not going to, And when I say I'm mentally preparing myself, I'm not talking about moving into my car full time. I'm talking about the fact that there may be a gap between when I have to leave this and when I find an appropriate property. Just to clarify, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying permanently. Obviously, I'm keeping an eye out on everything. I'm doing whatever I can. Heaven forbid, maybe these builders are are like, yeah, if it goes through, that's great, but we don't actually plan on doing anything for a year. That'd be wonderful. I'm trying to find, that would be the ideal manifestation for me, that the builders don't want to do anything straight away with the fucking problems in the building companies. I mean, Metrocon's one of the biggest building companies in Australia, and all you got to do is jump on the news and see that there's a very good chance it could go under. I've just realised something, totally off the topic. Sometimes when I watch myself back, I hear this creaky noise, and it fucking drives me bonkers. And I heard it when I was showing Vance and Pam, and it was a video I made on my camera, and I'm now realising I don't hear it as it's happening, but I'm wondering if every time I move, the laptop moves on the stand, and that's what makes the creaky noise that pisses me off. You gotta remember, guys, I make these videos and I upload them immediately because, again, not sure if I've even actually said this. Everything that I believe in, like I've said, I know I've said this, everything I believe in 100 billion%. But it doesn't mean I've been able to feel it or align with it instantly. The whole we are one. I'm telling you now, it was fucking years that I knew it, I understood it, I believed it, but it took as long as it took to kick in. And that's what I mean by divine timing. That's what I mean about why do people preach? Vegans that preach to meat eaters are literally just driving a meat eater to eat more meat. To me, that's a fucking given. We all have an ego. And again, society speaks about egos in different ways. Oh, my ego. And it's like, yeah, cool, whatever. But I'm talking about the whole I'm awake spiritually. And honestly, sometimes I think it makes it harder. Being ignorant does make life easier. Let's face it. I said this to Andrew yesterday. I was ignorant to the fact that I have never ever felt safe and secure. I've never felt like I'm protected. I was ignorant to all of this until it was pointed out at dinner by Pam. Once you're aware of something, you can't be unaware of it. You can choose to ignore it. And again, like I said, coming back to me, I'm going to use this example all the time. I was aware. I talked to vegans and vegetarians as a meat eater. I listened to their case. I heard everything they said. But I was like everybody else in the position of, no, a cow's a cow, a sheep's a sheep, a chicken's a chicken, dinner's dinner. Very separate. Which is ironic because if you go to McDonald's and then you open up a Big Mac packet, it literally has a picture of a cow and the parts of the cow they've used in the food. And when you really think about it, which is what the majority of society does not do, that's fucking messed up, yeah? Like, our species, messed up. I, for one, am very aware of that because I am one little person in this big fucking world and I'm all sorts of screwed up. And I have an ego that gets angry and sad and rages and hurts me. And there are lots of ways to hurt yourself without cutting, okay? I am trying to keep myself safe as best as I possibly fucking can. And that's really all it comes down to it. I have not one single fucking person that I can ask for to crash on a couch, to crash in a room. I don't have a single fucking person. Not one. Not with boss, at least. And I'm going to look into commission housing and see if I'm even eligible to get on the wait list. I'm going to call these builders. I have to call Centrelink. I have to call so many people. I've got to figure shit out. I am going to look on flatmates.com. Maybe there is someone out there, you know, with a nice space. Baby, finally. Well, then you've been upside down at the other end of the bed all fucking night, honey. I'm going to do all of this, you know, guys. Like, I have to start clearing stuff out. I've realised I still need Andrew's help. Andrew, if you see this before I speak to you, I still really need to get the tent outside, because if nothing else, I need to be able to access. No, what are you doing? Hey. This is what I'm talking about. There's everything on the ground, guys, because he's just decided to get back in the bed. Can you sit down, please? Look at this. This is what I'm dealing with. And you just took all, look. Oh my God, boss. What are you doing? You're confusing yourself. He's very confused, guys. You're like, why isn't this working? Because you... Come on, try it again. You're stuck now. Oh my God, don't fall. Oh, my baby, you just about fell out. All right, let Mummy help you. Just be a... See what I mean? I could turn the camera off, but I'm not finished talking, and I ain't going to. Come on, buddy. You got this. You got this. Oh, my poor little bubba. See? That's boss in the bed. And now I need to get all the shit that fell on the fucking floor. Right, guys? Oh, goodness me. What a day already. And it hasn't even really started. So on saying that, I will say, guys, that as I was snoozing with Rachel, because, she kept asking me to ring back, and I got to admit, I'm actually a lot better at the ringing someone else to wake them up than the whole someone ringing me to wake me up situation, And I really don't want people thinking that I'm, I guess everything, I guess I needed to hear what she had to say. No, I guess I know. The universe talks to us in all sorts of ways. The universe has been talking to me through Rachel for a fucking long time. Alright, let's try this again. My lip hurts, guys. My lip fucking hurts. I've got when you get to the end of the cream and you roll it all the way up until you can just push enough out. That's how much coleslaw cream I've got left, so I've got to go buy some of that. Yesterday I told myself I'd invest in motorbike pants, but considering, it's not at the top of my list right now to become a good motorbike rider, getting a home is, yeah. But I'm going to take the stuff that I got given to me back out of my car, try them on, see how much it costs to get them altered in the meantime. So I still have to have something good to focus on. Like I said, I feel like my vibrations are fine in the sense of, as I've said multiple times, it is very possible to feel two very completely conflicting emotions. Maybe it's a borderline thing. Maybe it's a mental illness thing. Maybe neurotypical people really just don't understand or cannot experience two conflicting emotions at once. I don't know. I'm not neurotypical. I'm me. I'm Liv. I'm all sorts of fucked up. And I mean that in the nicest possible way about myself, but all you honestly have to do is jump on my fucking channel, about page, and then read what I'm living with. And again, to those of you out there, maybe you're new to my channel. I checked before the other day, whenever it was. I've got let's see. I know I can't see shit there, but I've got more notifications. But if I go, fuck off with your fucking crap. Alright, let's go channel, my channel. I have 126 subscribers, which is awesome, and 337 videos. Let's look. Last night's has got 15, back from my motorbike ride has got 30, mornings to 27, 135, day 142, so it's day 145. So 3 days ago, part 2, the one where I actually said worst case I'll sleep in my car, is at 5.1 thousand views. And I think it goes without saying, nobody wants to live in their car. Nobody wants to be homeless. Nobody wants to be on the streets. The fact that we live in a world where this is happening, I think that's what gets to me, because I'm such a deep person. I've started subscribing to this behavioural analyst's channel since he's breaking down the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, and he's amazing. He's a psychologist, he's trained, he's worked in therapy and domestic violence and sexual abuse for like 15 odd years, and now he's a specialist in behaviour analyst. And in the video I watched last night, and I'm going to watch it again because I really want to see how he put it, he talked about empaths, about the fact that there are people out there like myself, I know I'm one, that are empaths. Now, he put it in a way that I've never heard it put before that made it just make so much more sense. Because when you say to someone you're an empath and you're spiritual, they just look at you like you're mad. It's kind of how I probably think about people who honestly think that Jesus died and then came back from the dead 3 days later. Like, there's not one single part of me that actually thinks that somebody came back from the dead 3 months later. 3 days later, sorry. I do believe that we are powerful enough to do stuff that we can't because our human selves are so fucking low vibrating. But nobody wants to be in the situation. And as I said to Andrew yesterday, I was like, how are people not realising that it's not just my home that's going to be affected? My ability to pay for even my medication will be. Like, again, I know how I sound. I sound conflicted because I'm having to experience the human side going, holy, holy, holy fuck, what the fuck? While my spiritual higher self side is going, it's okay, just be in the now, keep going about your day, do the things you need to do. You know, nothing's changed. Technically, except for the board outside, nothing's changed because I haven't been given notice. It's the 23rd, so there's 1 week until fucking rent comes out. I am going to call the builder people today. Obviously, I'll do an update on whatever information I get. Like, I have plenty of things in play, right? I'm even going to call my guy that I usually get the weed baby plants from and be like, hey, do you happen to know anyone that has any that has started growing? Because if nothing else, it'd be good to be able to at least get a little bit of backup by using that tent one last time out the back, because it's not something I'm going to be taking with me if I live like you know, it's different living in a house when you're private owners. Like, I'm very honest with everybody. My last landlords knew I smoked weed. The guys before that knew I smoked weed. Actually, they knew. When I first lived by myself in the granny flat and the farm that I've talked about, they knew I smoked ice. I did not keep that a secret very long at all. I don't think I'd known them even a month before I was like, well, you know, this is actually where I'm at. So they obviously knew that. The guys in the last house knew I smoked weed. My landlords know I smoke weed. I mean, the man from the bank was here. Now I'm realising, like, photos. How is this happening? But the guy from the bank took photos, right? Now, it's very evident that I've got a grow tent inside my house. Now, you can have a grow tent inside your house for many different reasons, but I think that combined with the fact that there's a large fucking poster on the wall that says keep calm and smoke weed, which is what my sister gave me for my 30th birthday, then most people would just assume that's what it is, especially since when I'm vaping, my house smells like weed. Speaking of which, I'm going to have to go and get oil so I can get all that cooked while I'm here. And I feel better just from already talking this all out. So I'm at 34 minutes, so that's okay. I feel like time is flying, but I'm glad I got up. There was a part of me that was worried I'd be like, get Rachel up and then just fall back asleep. But I really do have stuff to do. You know, like I said, I did write a to-do list last night. You know, I need to get as much stuff sorted as I possibly can. One of the first things that has to be done is clean that fridge and turn the one off inside. Since my father has had this happen before, and he says it sounds like it's just something that needs to be defrosted in the back causing it, because it doesn't look major. Everything's still working. It's just water coming out the bottom. So fingers crossed that works, because, you know, I need a fridge, and I'm lucky to have the other ones. There's no point in starting to ask people if they will watch Sebastian, watch Boss, looking at houses that are available right now. There's just no point in doing all of that. So I guess I can see what she's saying, so I won't mention living in my car again, at least here. I mean, I actually think, because I had this sort of like daydream where I was like thinking about work tomorrow and how I'm be seeing, you know, my team, and obviously I know my team, but I've only met the boss in person through the yoga day. Like, we haven't all met in person. And one of the thoughts in my head, you know, because I think we all do it, we all have conversations in our head, you know, not live it in the now, just living in our minds. And in one of the conversations in my head, I think it went something along the lines of, oh, how are you going? Since fucking fighting out the news, whatever it might be. And my answer was along the lines of, yeah, pretty good, considering I'm immediately preparing myself for possible homelessness. I still don't know if that might be just what comes out, because that is... I just said I wouldn't say it, and yet it's very confusing, guys, because I have to have that as an acceptance. I have to, especially since uni is starting in July, right? Now, there's a share house right near my campus. $150 a week for the room, bills split. They have to go and buy all brand new furniture, whereas I have a house, because I've spoken to this person. They're all full-time workers, wouldn't be there during the day, totally fine with the boss, probably would be fine with Sebastian, and I know this. And I guess if it gets down to it, a worst case scenario, I could do that if I had to, even if it was just for a few months. But again, these people are wanting people on the lease long term, and I wasn't making videos or writing blogs while I've had housemates before, not in the way that I do now, where I can just go back and read them all. I've always been a writer in the sense that I used Instagram, right? And I would activate my Instagram to get all my stories and copy and paste everything truthfully, but I hate the fact that if I activate it, I have to wait a week to deactivate it, unlike with Facebook, whereas I don't use them, but I use Messenger for communication, and I can activate Facebook to change my profile picture if I need to, which you have to do because you can't do it on Messenger alone, but then I can deactivate it immediately, because for whatever reason, I guess because I have these sites and these are where I'm meant to share, whenever I open Facebook, like the actual Facebook, it's again that it's almost the feeling of panic. It's like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to read anything. I don't want to know. I just need to do whatever it is that I need to do that I've activated it for, and shut it down. And maybe subconsciously, when I open Facebook, my instant thing is to want to check Mr. X's wife's profile. And it isn't healthy. I don't need them, because I sound like an obsessed crazy woman, and that's cool. I really could give a fuck about what I sound like if I'm real frickin' honest. Made it real clear it's not like I haven't tried dating, tried casual sex. I've tried it all. I'm over it. That's where I'm at. So that's fine. I feel like my meds are kicking in. That's good. I feel like this 40-minute video I've made is very much helping. I feel calmer. I will message Rachel And again, I know she's right, and I know she's in my life for these reasons, to keep me on track, to keep me where I'm at. But, you know, as I've said, can't help but imagine that this must be how the next person feels, or probably even worse, because I actually fully understand exactly what it is she's saying to me, and she's 100% right. I literally wrote it in a blog last night. Let's see if I can find it. It's like the last blog I wrote. Again, guys, you want to actually keep up with me, read the blogs, right? So I wrote one saying, I'm mentally preparing myself for homelessness, for possible homelessness. And I wrote, I'm trying to rise above this thought, because I don't want it to become a self-fulfilling prophecy by manifesting it. But at the same time, I still have to be realistic given the current rental crisis currently taking place at the moment, right? So, and then I said, meaning that I have to mentally try to prepare myself for possibly living in my car for a few months. And I even put in a picture straight from Google saying, is there a rental crisis in Victoria? And it says, according to The Age, 2022, last month in April, both the real estate, it says, both the real estate industry and tenants advocates are warning, copies cold, as always, a warning of a serious problem emerging after the supply of rentals, which peaked at more than 5.2% during the pandemic, dropped to just 1.8% across the city in March. And the next one is, it's a common story as Melbourne's rental market rebounds from its COVID-19 lockdown era discounts. Oh, excuse me. Swear to God, morning and night, fucking hate it. Anyway, it says, it's a common story as Melbourne's rental market rebounds from COVID-19 era discounts when international immigration dried up and homes sat vacant. Asking rents are now higher than they were a year ago by 53.3%. No, in 53.3%. So, but basically everything is fucking expensive. And I was talking about it with Andrew yesterday. I was like, when I moved in here, for example, 1st of November 2017, there were properties, for example, like this one, maybe not, quite as nice, because I don't think I've ever really given the correct, I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for is right now, the correct information, advice, whatever it is, when I talk about the fact that the house is falling down and the plumbing and stuff, like, I can't use my bathroom sink, and, I actually had to pay for the plumber to come out and unblock everything and have, like, bobcats come in and dig up the backyard and have entire new plumbing put in. I've done all of that since I've lived here, and I've paid for all of that myself because of the money I paid for the rent, which is great, right? Oh God, I think I'm still recording. I've just lost myself. But as I was saying to Andrew yesterday, I was like, those properties that say used to exist around the, say, I was working it out last night. My first rental, the bungalow I lived in, was $180 a week. Then I did a number of different share houses, which are a story by itself, and I don't think I've gone into full detail. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. I'm pretty sure I haven't. I know I've mentioned that I lived with someone where it was very dangerous, so that was in the part with the share houses. And like I said, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 different share houses in a very short period of time that I will just talk about in a completely different video. And then I got the next place by myself, which was again like one of those granny flat bungalows. This one was not half as nice as the one as my first one, and was on a property with a man who was just an abusive wife beater, and it was horrifying. And it was at this point not leaving my house. Like, I didn't leave my house for nothing unless it was literally to drive to my dealers if they didn't drive to me. So I was locked in my house on that property for a long time, because especially this man was terrifying. He would turn the power off and on. He would, turn the water off. It was all sorts of stuff that would go on. Like, he let boss out, and I remember I was driving back from my dealers because, again, I didn't leave my house, guys, and like, we lived in, like, it was sort of industrial area. So, like, say there was the western suburbs, you drive out sort of a bit, you're further into like industrial, and it was this huge long country road. We were sort of halfway down it, and I remember turning into this road, and boss was like right there. No collar, no fucking nothing, just he'd been just let out of the property because this man was one of those people that thought it was cool to hurt people. And I know that because his poor wife would come and see me, and she'd be black and blue, and I would be doing everything I could to try and help her, because, again, I'm much better at trying to help others than I am myself, but I'm working on it. And yeah, there were many a time I thought I was going to lose him. There was a time where I was so scared that I was posting on Facebook Live, as in, I think I'm going to need to call the cops. I can hear him, he's coming and going, he's knocking on windows, he's like turning the power off and on. Like, I was terrified. So that was a place I fled again. So this was now the third place I basically had to flee, all different reasons. Again, different story. I'll go into depth of it. And that was when I moved to the last house I was in, because I had put up an ad on our Gumtree, which is in Australia. It's kind of like Craigslist in America, I think. Anyway, I put up an ad saying, urgent rental needed, me and my dog. I'm not safe. I live on a disability. This is all I can manage. If there's anybody out there that can help, please let me know. And now that I say that, I might do that again, because I got a phone call from the person who owned the last rental I lived in saying, hey, I've just taken over this house. This is what it's like. The first part's like rented out. This is sort of an add-on. We're sort of gutting it and redoing it, but if you want, I'll send you pictures and come and have a look. And so that was the house that I lived in before this one, which I paid the rent $250 including the bills. But I'm pretty sure I would have mentioned in videos or blogs before that in this particular house, it was very clearly an illegal add-on, and there was no access to the power box. So if the power tripped or the power went out or whatever, and the front unit people were away, I was stuck, because it was literally inside the front house. I couldn't access it. That was when I met the builders who built the units next to my old house, who had bought this one. So when I first moved in here, it was jointly owned by the builder and the owner that's like my current landlord, right? Now, I remember me and the builder got on like a house on fire. Obviously, he was the one that told me about this house. He was like, and now that me and Andrew's helped me, and thank you very much, we've gone back and checked. They actually purchased this house in August of 2017, I believe it said. And it would have been October when I started saying, look, I'm trying to manifest me a house. And I'm going to go back to doing that, because I am going to manifest me a house. That's it. Rachel's right. I need to focus on that and only that. And I know she's right. And I remember saying to the guy, the problem I'm having, I'd already told my current landlord, like, this is bullshit. You have to drop my rent if I'm living in the dark and no power when I can't access a power box. So he dropped it from $250 to $220, and it kept happening. And this is when I was like, look, dude, I love living here, you're a cool guy, blah, 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 but I'm not dealing with this bullshit anymore. I'm taking you to VCAT, which is like the rental place, whatever it is here. I was like, if you don't fix or do something, yeah? And by this point, I was talking to the builders next door. They told me about this house. You know, they told me it's fucked. We don't plan on renting it out. It's been trashed. The old tenants have pretty much just picked up and left. It's fucked. But again, they were like, he was like, you can still have it if you want it for like $100 a week. And I'm very sure I've mentioned this before, in the sense of when I first walked in here, it was like there was no kitchen floor. It's hard to explain. It was like lino or whatever you call it, like ripped up in places. You could see boards. I, couldn't breathe due to the wrapped droppings and urination. Like the house was like fucked. It was infested. There was absolutely no doors. Boss movie stuff. There was no doors. Like, I mean, there were no doors or cupboards on anything because all the windows were blocked and everything was blocked, and the backyard would have been like up to my waist in rubbish, and it was just really intense and bad, to the point where when I originally sent the pictures, which must be somewhere, to my mum in New Zealand and my sister, my mum especially was like, I don't know, Liv, do you really think it's a good idea? And I was like, it's a 3-bedroom house with, as I've said, ducted heating, evaporative cooling, ceiling fans, big rooms, built-in robes, a huge backyard, a shed, an undercover area. It's $100 a week. Absolutely, I wanted to take it. And I was told at the beginning it'd be 18 months and then 6 months as we went on. And this isn't the first time with the permit, and all sorts of bullshit's happened. But I am incredibly grateful for how long I've been here. I'm very, very grateful. And like I keep saying, I've known this day was coming. Obviously, I've known this day was coming. It's just throwing me for a sixer given the information I was given last, which was they don't want to sell. And in all fairness, I kind of feel for my landlords in that regard, because they've held on to this house for so long because they wanted to build the units. That was their goal. So they're losing out too in that regard, and I understand that. So when I take away my own, oh my God, I can't breathe panic stuff, I can see it objectively, and I get this. And I understand that Rachel was right. It's just taking me 52.5 minutes to figure it out, that I'm going to, as of now, only talk about manifesting me a new home. That's it. I'm going to manifest me a new home because I am a fucking goddess when it comes to manifestation. The most important thing is just putting it out to the universe, continuing doing what you can doing in your everyday life. I've got a to-do list that's a page long. That's me. And just letting it go and having faith that the universe is with me. The universe is us. We're all just a part of the universe in 3D form. We have infinite, unlimited power. And I truly believe that. And I have to focus on that and remember that, and just keep reminding myself that I have manifested me a home as I've needed to, as I've continued on. And like I said, I've had to literally flee places. We're talking like the place with the guy who was beating his wife and constantly letting my dog out and turning my, water and power and everything on and off. Like, I had to wait until he went to work. Like, I had everything packed. I got people to come in and help me. People by a couple of friends come in and help me. Here's a quick point side view story for you if you're still watching at 54 minutes. I got a couple of friends at the time to come and help me pack, right? So it was all ready to go because I needed to hire movers so that they would arrive when he was at work and be gone, like the whole house, I'd be gone before he got back. Now, by this point, I'd already agreed to the new one, and the new landlord in the house that I lived in before this one was so nice. He was like, I'm going to give you like the first 2 weeks rent free so that you can pay for movers to get your stuff out in one go safely, which was amazing. And I did that. And let me think. Yeah, I fled that one, but like I said, it's not the first one. The other ones were like share houses, and you know, I've never gotten rid of Sebastian. I've had Boss since I lived in the bungalow the very first time I lived by myself, because it was my landlord who knew I smoked ice who suggested getting a dog in the first place, because I may not be lonely anymore, and I'm really, really not lonely, guys. There's a massive difference between being alone and being lonely. Believe you me, I know what loneliness feels like. I spent my entire life feeling like that, like feeling like I'm different, feeling like I'm a freak, feeling like there's something wrong with me, feeling like I'm not supposed to be here, feeling like the answer is always going to be that I was a mistake and I wasn't meant to be here. And so the only way to rectify it is to leave this planet. Now, that thought has been in my head for as many years as I can remember. So, rising above it can be hard, but I'm going to do it. And once I finish this video, which I'm getting there, I guess, and again, I make these videos for me more than I do for you, because I was very, very close to crying when I got off the phone with Rachel, and it's taken 56 minutes. But I can now see what I need to see, which is that I have manifested every home I've had. And I will manifest me a home. I will. I am supposed to be on this planet. I am supposed to be doing what I'm doing. I know that. I know I have a wonderful team with work, and I will talk to them tomorrow and be like, hey, if you can keep an eye out, you know, the more ears, the more eyes, that would be helpful. But moving forward from today, I will say that I've made peace with the worst case scenario that I can see happening, but I will not voice it again. I need to voice things to get it out. I needed to do what I did yesterday. I needed to read my blog. I needed to write the blog. Now that I'm so aware of the fact that I actually love writing blogs for people to read, for me to read, it's different, because when I write a blog, I'm writing it for both of us. I'm writing it in the way that I know I'm going to be reading it back. I write it in the way that I know you're the next person going to be reading it back. I can't write blogs, for example, like I make videos. Just like I can't write speeches without making a video. I'm a very complicated human being. That's just a fact. But I'm feeling so much better. I'm feeling grateful to Rachel because she's right and I love her. And every time something like this happens, it helps me to see how I must appear or sometimes come across to the next person, because I know she says everything she does with love and support, and because she truly knows it to be true, and she knows that I know it's true too. So I can't help but imagine, or, you know, try to imagine how it must feel to the next person who has never been through a spiritual awakening, who has literally never seen the world the way she and I do. As I said to her, you're not very good at taking your own advice, but, you know, I'm not great at taking my own advice either. It's always going to be easier to take the next person's advice than our own, I think. Now, I have absolutely no idea if I have finished all of my stories, but I'm at 59 minutes and 32 seconds. I really want another coffee, I need to go and see how much of this I've got for cold medicine. Cold sore, because I've got to get rid of that. And I would like to watch the last couple of my videos back. And I'm also going to get some paper and get my pad and go through the pictures, find the phone numbers. I've already sort of taken the picture, obviously, for the permit. I don't want to go outside. I'm in my jammies. I'm quite comfortable right now, since I'm going to be doing cleaning and shed bullshit and all of that today, and I'll do like the work stuff later on this evening. I'm just going to, once I get up, just get dressed, going to appreciate having a bath while I've got one. I mean, let's face it, with the conditions I live with, I would just not move into a house without a bath. This bath, I'm fucking happy and grateful for. It's, as I've shown before, not a huge bath, but big enough. But even though I don't always use them as much as I want, and again, I think it's the size of this one, which is ridiculous now, I can see, but it's a very important for me that I have one. Especially because all of this doesn't change my 3D physical bullshit that my human self deals with. But I am mentally, emotionally feeling a lot better. I now see where I've been going wrong since Friday or Thursday, whatever day it was that this happened. Friday, I believe. And yeah, from here on out, I'm manifesting me a home. That's it. In whatever scenario way there is, that is what I'm going to do. Just like I have done always in the past. I know that I am looked after. I know this. And everything will be okay. So guys, I hope yous are all good. I am, hoping that if nothing else, if, you get something out of these videos, or just knowing you're not alone helps. I realize it's at an hour. So, like I said, I wish I could tell if I, how to figure out if people actually watch them to the end, but I don't know how to figure that out. That's cool. Doesn't really matter. But I am starting to watch my stuff back more. Here's a story I don't think I finished. I upload immediately because if I start to watch back without uploading, there's always the part of my ego that might be like, don't do it, Liv. You sound like an idiot. You sound like just don't share this or do this, and it will just start overthinking. So I, as I explained to father and stepmother, make my videos like they are live, in the sense of whatever I've said in the last hour and 3 minutes and 5 seconds is what's going online without me looking. And then that way I know that my true authentic self is coming across. Because sure, I've got videos I've posted that I've watched back, and some of them are gut-wrenching. Some of them make me cry days later watching back. But I'm a sharer and a storyteller because I'm willing to be this authentically true. And I have said in the past that I have spent many an hour, a day or week or whatever, years, truthfully, thinking about making live videos. But just the overwhelm of knowing that people might be trying to interact with me, trying to reach out, all of it at once, I just know that I'm not at a place for that. And that's cool, because I'm just happy to be where I'm at. So that's why I upload, because I make my videos as if they were live. That way I upload them immediately without ever watching them or overthinking or freaking myself out. I don't always remember everything I've said when I've talked for this fucking long, but if you've been following me for long enough, you'll know that there'll be at least something in here that's hopefully relevant or interesting or entertaining, or that helps you feel like, you know, you're not alone. And to all of you out there, Rory, I'm seeing your comments. The rest of you, I'm seeing your comments. You know, I'm sending light and love to all of you out there. Please try to remember and hold on to what I hold on to, and that is that we are all in this together. We are not alone. You, me, and the next person, boss, we're in this together, okay, guys? And that's why I share my very inner truth, because I truly freaking believe that's what I'm here to do. And so that's what I'm going to keep doing. In an hour and 5 minutes, I think it's time to shush. Talk later, guys. See ya.